In Northwest news, a mother is charged with leaving her young children alone in their apartment for days. Detectives found the kids in heartbreaking conditions. The mother had been jailed for driving with a suspended license, and police say she didn't tell anyone her children were home alone. Now she faces children abandonment charges. Cairo's David Ham reports.
They're babies, and she left them there to die.
Selena Dominguez knew something was wrong when she heard nonstop crying from her neighbor's apartment in Auburn. A property manager called police.
If the cops were not already on their way, I would have kicked that door in.
Inside, detectives found a 1-year-old boy and a 3-year-old girl in these deplorable conditions.
You could visibly see piles of poop, you could see pee, you could see vomit.
Turns out the children were alone for at least 5 days.
These kids were put in some severe danger.
When detectives looked up their mother, Kiara Emerson, they found that she was booked in the Cowlitz County Jail for a suspended license on the 10th. The children were found 4 days later.
We did talk to her, and she didn't appear to be concerned about her children.
We pulled court records and found Emerson was convicted for assault, hit and run, and even theft. Her daughter was with her at the time of that arrest 2 years ago. Dominguez is glad the children are in the hands of foster parents now, but she says there's no excuse for leaving children alone for so long.
I see it as attempted murder. She was attempting to kill her kids when she left and decided to not tell anybody when she got picked up.
The Washington Supreme Court will hear arguments on Thursday on whether a voter-approved initiative to raise the minimum wage and SeaTac to $15 an hour should apply to workers at the airport. Businesses in the Port of Seattle argue the airport is run according to state and federal law, not local ordinances. Unions that sponsored the initiative, approved by SeaTac voters in November, say one of their aims was to improve working conditions at the airport. The court hearing is the latest development in the debate over minimum wage in Washington, which already has the nation's highest state minimum wage at $9.32 an hour. The Seattle City Council voted early this month to gradually raise the minimum wage in Washington's largest city to $15 an hour. That decision is also being challenged in court. The U.S. government's no-fly list violates constitutional rights, a federal judge ruled yesterday. U.S. District Judge Anna Brown says those on the list are deprived of a meaningful way to have their names removed. Brown ordered the Justice Department to redraft procedures with the requisite due process and without jeopardizing national security. 13 plaintiffs, mostly of Muslim religion, challenged their inclusion on the list. They said they were not allowed to board flights and were not given any explanation. They also said they were not given the chance to demonstrate they were not a threat to public safety. The FBI created the no-fly list after 9/11 when terrorists hijacked 4 U.S. airliners. Computerized license plates readers have revolutionized the way police look for stolen cars. One Tacoma officer says the cameras on his patrol car can scan 2,500 to 5,000 cars a shift. The computer matches the plates against the list of plates from stolen cars. The Associated Press reports the city plans to expand the use of license plate readers to parking enforcement. Parking officers will be able to tell if a car has overstayed its time limit or if the registered owner has unpaid parking tickets. A teen and her alleged accomplices could face robbery, burglary, and perjury charges. This comes after a little girl helped solve a home invasion case. KCPQ's John Hopperstead tells us how she was able to give authorities information that led to a confession.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4-year-old Abby is wise beyond her years.
Wednesday was the worst day in my life.
On Wednesday, she helped the Whatcom County Sheriff's Office crack a case that would make the Babysitters Club proud.
They told us to get out of the house because they wanted us to steal stuff.
Investigators say Abby's 17-year-old babysitter orchestrated a false home invasion along with her 16-year-old boyfriend and another male suspect.
I think about that was really her being bad. She's not a good babysitter.
Investigators say the babysitter made up a story about 2 armed black men breaking into the Ferndale home.
The bad guys stole my kitty bank, and they stole my iPod. They also stole my Xbox and my Wii.
The babysitter told investigators one of the suspects looked like the neighbor next door.
Right over here by this tree and Sniper is there.
Neighbor Cody Oaks says police handcuffed him and questioned him for several hours because he fit the description. But little Abby knew better, and she told police.
It wasn't the right skin color.
Abby told investigators the suspects had white skin, not black, and that's when the babysitter's story started to crumble, and she confessed.
Why did you involve the children?
Abby's mom says she's proud of her young daughter.
Literally in 30 seconds, she changed everything that had been going on for 5-6 hours.
And her neighbor Cody says he hopes that babysitter and her accomplices learn a lesson from all of this.
It's kind of sad because I just don't think she realizes like the dangerous position that it put me in.
As for all the stolen belongings,
They got it back because of me being a superhero.
no word yet on whether Abby plans to go pro with her detective skills.
But mostly, I would love to be a doctor.
And that's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.